Hello people of YouTube. I just thought I'd be a good Samaritan once again and finally release the video on how to use Reason. This is going to be a short, it's going to take me a while to do this in all honesty. However, this will be released in 3 different parts. First one is the basics. Second is going to be the instruments themselves. Third is going to be a bit of sequencing how-to. So, let's get started. Stop this one. So, here we are with the basic setup. You have your 2 windows, if you really look at it that way. You have your rack window, which holds your rack instruments and effects and mixers and such. And it also contains your input and output along with MIDI in and out, and it even tells you if you're using Rewire or not if you decide to keep that open. Then you have the sequencer, which is basically this other window right here. It's docked at the bottom of the screen, and you can select between the two thanks to the blue box that just surrounds the whole thing. Now, down below that we have the transport. Now, no matter what window you're on, it will have a transport. Because, well, transports are needed no matter where you are, and you know it. So, on the transport we have the CPU, which is called, in this case, DSP. We have the audio clip, which means it's too damn loud if it turns red. We have the metronome, which is called click, and pre, which is click before. It basically does the metronome 1 bar before you actually start recording. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, record. You got your tempo, your time signature, which you can change to whatever. You have your tracking stuff, like right here. Here's your get rid of that. Here's your beats, here's your bars, your beats, your 16th notes, and your ticks, along with your hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. That basically explains all that. It shows you how far you are in the song. Like, I'm going to go to the 9th bar. I'm at the 5th bar. I'm at the 2nd or 4th, 3rd, and you can change it down. I just suggest having this at bar unless you have some other ways you're going to use this. Here's the transport itself. This is record, play, stop, fast forward, rewind. You also have your automation as preferred control. You have quantize on record, which just does what it says. It snaps every note you play to a beat. In my case, I keep it at 16th notes, because for some odd reason I like to go at 16th notes and nothing smaller. You also have your new dub, which adds a 2nd track, so you can record over, or new alternate, which does the same. However, what it'll do is it'll actually allow you to do an alternate version of that track. You also have your loop function, which basically is your loop points if you're going to create loops. You have your regroove mixer, which is actually this is how you would get some swing and shuffle and slide into your notes and stuff. You have your anchor points. You have your global shuffle. You can choose like which ones you want. Like, you can go in here. I don't know. You can just pick any like programmed hip hop and hip hop-ish, and it'll just do it for you. So we can just go ahead and turn that off, because I don't usually use that. And here is your override automation. That just basically does what it does, what it says it does. If you accidentally bump your controller and you have all your automation set to one set thing, it's not going to change it if you record it, unless it's for the same instrument. It's not going to record if you're recording notes. But when you're playing it, if you want to change it, like let's say you want a filter just to go up, you can do that. But if you accidentally bump your controller while you're playing like at a live gig, you can hit the reset button. It'll automatically snap back to what it was. Here we have our selection, which is switched to and from the sequencer mode, which is this, and the editor mode, which allows us to have more access to each individual note. I usually keep that on the 2nd window. However, I don't have 2 monitors, so doing this I have to switch between that and that. I keep it sequencer here, and then whenever I need to go notes, I just go and open that. It's very handy, trust me. You have your selection tool, you have your pencil tool, your eraser, your cutter, which is called the razor, your magnify, which is really not needed, and your hand tool. The hand tool is pretty interesting because all it does is just the scrolling like normal. That's up to you if you want to do it that way. Now, of course, here's your snap, which I keep this one at a bar, and the smaller one at less, but it doesn't show it right now because I don't have any note tracks going. And here's your snap to grid, very important. Of course, here's your horizontal and vertical and horizontal zoom. I tend to keep everything kind of zoomed out because it's nice sometimes. And that's it for the first video. I will catch you on part 2.